On arrival in Myanmar's Rakhine state last week, Kofi Annan was met by angry protesters who called his visit interference in their internal affairs.
We will not accept any foreign intervention in our country, as this is our sovereignty and our domestic affairs.
The former UN chief, Annan, is chairing an advisory commission tasked with finding a solution to the conflict between the country's Buddhist majority and minority Rohingya Muslims.
First of all, we are not here to do a human rights investigation and write a human rights report. I think I've indicated very clearly the mandate of this commission, and I hope our recommendations will be helpful as we intend to. And the mandate is for us to make recommendations that will help reduce tensions.
4 years ago, thousands of Muslims were forced to leave their homes in Rakhine after a conflict with Buddhists. Some made their way to Indonesia and Malaysia in search of a new life, while others remained trapped in refugee camps in Myanmar.
We eat when we get our quota of food. If we do not get it, we cannot eat.
Last year's flight of Myanmar's Rohingyas in rickety boats without food and water caused an international outcry. Aung San Suu Kyi was criticized for failing to speak up for the persecuted minority. During a joint news conference with U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry in May, she said it was a deeply emotional issue.
People should be aware of the difficulties that we are facing and to give us enough space to sort out our problems.
Rohingya Muslims are denied citizenship in Myanmar, even though some have lived in the country for several generations. Many in Myanmar consider them to be illegal Bengali migrants who should be expelled. They're not even allowed to call themselves Rohingyas. President Barack Obama raised the issue during a 2014 visit to Myanmar.
We are paying attention to how religious minorities are treated in this country.
In Washington, Aung San Suu Kyi is pursuing U.S. aid and an easing of U.S. sanctions against Myanmar. U.S. officials have said the sanctions will remain in place until there is significant progress on democracy and human rights in the Asian country. Zlatica Hoke, VOA News, Washington.